Hey there, buddy. How do you feel?
Been better, that's for sure. Oh, what is this place? And shit. Who are you?
Don't worry, not an illusion. There's a perfectly rational explanation to this. Just let me ask you some control questions first, okay?
Sure. Fire away.
Do you remember your name?
Yeah. Jan. Dolsky.
And what's your role on this mission?
I'm a refinery operator. Oh, you look like me, but also not like me. Are we brothers or something?
We're much more than that. Genetically speaking. We're the same person.
Genetically speaking? Whatever you're trying to tell me, stop beating around the bush, okay?
All right then. You're my alter. I created you with the use of rupidium.
Rupidium?
Yeah. We did it. It's here.
Wow. You hear that, Ben?
Ben? What Ben?
Huh? Oh, never mind. Hey, wait. What was that you said about creating me?
Look, you've obviously still not recovered from the shock. Why don't you rest a little and read the mission logs? They'll put it in perspective. We can talk more when the meds wear off.
The meds. Yeah, that explains a lot. Not everything, but I feel like there's something more to this feeling of being so light, weak, you know?
Just relax and take it slow. You'll feel stronger in no time.
Okay, yeah. Maybe. And hell, I can't wait to see rupidium.
You will soon. I promise.
Jan, can you come see me? There's a thing. also, yeah, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home.
Cheers. Whoa, you look tired, man. Everything okay?
I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with sleeping on the floor?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Of course not. You have your cozy captain's bed.
All right, no need to be so dramatic about it. I'll get you a proper dorm.
Sounds like a promise.
You look hurt. What happened?
Are you blind? I got too much radiation exposure. I feel awful.
We have to come up with a better radiation protection in the future.
Yeah. Make it our top priority, all right? For now, just remember to keep the radiation barrier on, okay? Radiation filters will speed up my recovery. At least when I'm inside. storage space?
This is why we stopped. A lava river. Plan B then, I guess. We'll need to figure out if there's a way around. Wonder how many more surprises this planet has in store. These loose rocks look like they might be passable. If only I had a tool to drill through them.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? surprisingly okay, especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? Yeah, you bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which can only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rupidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. That's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? Why don't you rest a little? Get accustomed to the new reality? Which part of what I just said makes you think I'm not ready to start immediately? Well, in that case, your situation must be critical considering the lengths you went to. Something tells me there's no time to lose. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work.
So, had enough time to come to terms with the situation?
I'm fine, thanks. There's not much that can bring me down. But I still feel much weaker than usual. Funny, earlier today I tried to lift a container and I couldn't. Remember, you're not alone here. If anything's too heavy to lift, you can always ask for help. Kind of you to say that, but that's not what's bugging me. Physical strength is a part of who I am. Not to mention, it's essential to operate the refinery. Being strong seems to matter a lot to you. A little extra confidence never hurt anyone. Not that it was ever my priority. I just like the physical activity. It helped clear my head of problems. Problems are gone here. It's a chance to wipe the slate clean. Maybe, but I still can't get my head around one thing. What's that? Like, if everything that happened to me isn't true, then does that apply to the people I knew too? I mean, do they exist, but in some different version as well? It's possible, yes. Huh. So, hypothetically, someone who in my mind is, let's say, dead could actually still be alive? Hypothetically? Totally. Theoretically, everything's possible. That's overwhelming. Shit. I think I need to get my mind on something else. Why don't you have some fun? Integrate with the living. You deserve it. You think? Sure. Let me know if there's anything more you need. Hey, I built that dormitory you asked for. Hallelujah. I hope you sleep well tonight. I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization. Sweet dreams, then. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you, too. My lava lamp? You kept it? Sure. It's one of a few cool keepsakes from our childhood. Yeah. Mom and I like to sit by it in the evening, talking and joking. It reminds me of that period when life was challenging, but also really fucking great.
much for Plan B. Hey, what's this? It's triggering the alert in my suit. I need to learn more about this thing. Must be another one of those cargo drops. Except that doesn't look like the crew's personal luggage. Might be worth checking out. Huh. Looks like some kind of device. There's a way I could use it.
I envy you. You believe everything can be fixed as long as everyone has good intentions. Gotta believe in something, right? Otherwise, we all go crazy. Yeah, but your radical friendliness is naive at best, and honestly, pisses me off. Oh. Nothing like a generous serving of organic veggies, am I right?
Look what I found. Any idea what it could be?
Let's see. It looks like a qubit chip.
Qubit chip.
Yeah, like an enhanced storage for quantum computing operations. It could be useful for increasing the efficiency of our QC unit, not to mention accessing new tech in the research lab.
It looks broken.
Perceptive. A little love in the workshop should get it up and running.
Gotcha. Thanks. Okay. I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is fast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it.
Holy shit. What now?
I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve?
So now I'm smart, huh?
Still,
Even I might not be enough. But a smarter version of us? Yeah, he could do the trick. The scientist. He could look for a solution in that research lab you built.
okay, let's give it a go. So, how are you? Settling in all right?
Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made.
I'd love to hear what you managed to observe.
This place is not run optimally.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me?
Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance.
All right, slow down.
Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That's slow enough for you?
Hey, you've just crossed out every team-building exercise on my list.
The people are there for the mission, not the other way around. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed.
So what exactly was your research about?
Nanotech in space exploration. We went from a humble startup to making headlines in a few months. Taking our solutions to the front line was my dream come true. The data we could bring back.
You had big plans for it. Well, now it's all gone.
Yeah, I understand how lousy that must feel.
Honestly, I don't think you do.
But I hope we're not going to sit around crying about it. There's work to be done, here and now.
That's true.
Well, let's get to it then.
I found something peculiar on the planet.
What exactly was peculiar about it?
Everything. It was like a local distortion of reality. And it seemed to be emitting strong radiation.
Yes, We could have expected to come across something like that sooner or later, according to reports from previous missions. Unidentified sources of radiation, unexplained electromagnetic field anomalies, distortions of matter, space, or even gravity. What are they? According to a bold theory fleshed out by Professor Frankov, they may be instances of the so-called interval.
The what?
Interval. In very simple terms, it's a non-coincidental superposition of potential universes. We don't know exactly why it occurs, but observations prove that under certain, not yet specified conditions, two or more parallel landscapes can coexist within a common quantum field, creating a so-called proximity plane.
Whatever it is, doesn't sound like something I'd want to walk into again.
Yes, it's fascinating, but it can be dangerous. If, and I stress if, Professor Frankov's intuition is right, then the distortion you have encountered could have been a puncture point, a spot where the proximity plane intersects with our observed universe, subverting its physical balance and distorting the rules of Newtonian mechanics. I need to learn more about these peculiarities. Inform me at once if you come across another one.
Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too.
Oh, interesting. A motivational hoodie.
Motivational? More like demotivational. I only kept it because it's really comfy.
Of course you did. It doesn't remind you of all that determination and ambition that fueled my academic success. Anyway, thanks. I appreciate it.
Evacuation functionality. Sure is at the same pace.
Hey, man. I'd like to talk to you. Man, I'm telling you, we need it.
And I'm telling you, this is the least important of our priorities. You've got to be kidding me.
Good day, friend. Hey there. You wanted to talk about something? Yeah. I've been thinking about the branching thing. It's so confusing. Tell me about it.
I mean, remember how I told you about my body? The one I know versus this one? Well, I don't get it. Why is it exactly that we're created with different minds, like, different beverages or snacks, but then we all end up in the same packaging? It doesn't make much sense. Well, it's not the packaging that matters most. It's the content. That's what they say. But you don't brew ale only to pour it into plastic bottles. My skills, my whole personality derives from a certain lifestyle, and that makes my mind and body inseparable. That's how it feels to me.
Huh. I never looked at it that way.
I know, and honestly, I find it a little hard to understand. I mean, how can you be so careless about your body? It's the only one you'll ever have, man. Why'd you let it become so neglected? I guess I just couldn't be bothered to make the effort. Funny. Now that I look at it, you probably didn't have my motivation.
Which was?
Well, for me, it all started when I moved abroad. After Mom died, I decided to stay there, and for a while it was pretty lonely out there.
Didn't you have friends?
Not at first, no. You can laugh, but I was a little apprehensive to jump into a new environment. It was just work and sleep, and some bad eating habits.
So that's when you started working out?
Out of boredom at first, then kind of became a fun thing. I made friends, started going out a lot, but by that time, the gym had become an important part of my routine. I drank less, slept better, and it just made me feel in control of my life,
I get you.
Now that you told me the whole story. Thanks. Maybe if I could get back to my routine here, at least in some way, it could really help me shake off all this anxiety. I'd probably sleep better, feel more like me. Do you think there's a chance you could help me get my hands on some exercise equipment here?
I could try.
Really? Thanks, bro. I knew I could confide in you.
Should I take care of this now?
Functionality then.
I can't wait to try those veggies out. take care of this now?
I have something for you. The exercise equipment you asked for.
Awesome, man! I knew I could rely on you. Can't wait to try these babies out.
Hello?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Not really. Barely knew them.
Well, we are all grief-stricken down here. But also excited and proud of what you have achieved. I hope you grasp the significance of your discovery.
So, do people know I found rupidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Of course, yeah. No reason to get everyone hyped up. Might still fail.
I can see you're a grown man, Jan. And you understand the stakes. I don't want to put pressure on you, but... failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the rupidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rupidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate rupidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now. Constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dulski.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. Thanks.
Of course, I would lie to you if I said your work is done. You've probably noticed how different Rupidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
How come it works then?
Not enough tests were run to explain that. The only sample ever found in space was researched inside a mobile base like your own, but it never made it back to Earth. It lasted long enough to demonstrate its amazing qualities, only to disintegrate somewhere between the Copernicus and the Hyades cluster.
So, you're afraid the Rupidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An Ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting Rupidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a Rupidium Ark should be your primary focus now.
Sounds like a big task. I should get to it straight away.
It is a big task, Jan, but it's worth every effort. I hope you realize the gravity of the moment.
I thought you said you didn't want to put pressure on me.
You're right. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch. I don't have any hard proof to support it.
What is it?
Well, I think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
What will happen to my alters when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here, but I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the alters.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
We will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
The branching procedure. There's a story there. Tell me.
It is something that has been tested long ago within Ally Corp. But for completely different reasons and, as you can imagine, in a much more rudimentary fashion.
Altering mind records? For whom?
I'm sorry, Jan. It's highly classified and I already told you too much. I think you deserve answers, but regarding this matter, like I said, things were tested just for a while. Not much came of it. Now, I'd love to keep on chatting, but I really will need to be ending this call soon. Do you have any more questions?
No. I'm good.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with a remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
Activation functionality. Located organ.
Okay, Brad?
another movie. Is that one following me? What the hell? What is this? Another anomaly? It looks out of this world.
It's getting a little cramped in our storage, Jan. Jeez, I packed a lot of stuff.
dismissing that. Hey man, can you hear me? Where am I? What is this? Take it easy. You're on strong sedatives. What the hell? I know. You're confused. That's perfectly fine. Really? So, who are you? Relax. I'll tell you everything. But right now, we need to focus on you, just to make sure you're all right. Can you answer a few questions for me? Okay. Do you remember who you are?
I'm Jan Dolsky.
Good. And what is your role on this mission, Jan?
I'm a botanist. So, wait, this is it? The mission? Did we land?
I'm afraid things went sideways during the landing. Everyone died. Except for me.
You. What about me? Are you... Are you real?
Just as real as you.
Then, what's going on?
It's like we're alternative versions of the same person.
Wow, but why is this happening?
I told you, everyone died. Long story short, I needed to multiply myself to survive.
That doesn't make any sense. We're not exactly the same.
Yes, we're different. You made different decisions in your life.
I'm not sure I understand.
You know what? I think you should just rest a little and read the mission logs. You'll find all the answers there.
Sure. Yeah, mission logs, so why not? Hey, wait. If all this is... If I mean... What about my wife? Where is she? I need to know.
She's on Earth, and we need to figure out how to get there.
Okay. What do you want from me?
We'll need all the help we can get. Someone to run the greenhouse, prep the food, so on. Trust me, you'll have a lot to do.
I'm not sure I'm ready to work just like that.
Right. Like I said, rest, go through the logs, meet the rest of the crew, and let's talk again in a while.
Yeah.
I'll see you around. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Marie? Marie Skłodowska? Where the hell did you find that old thing? Oh, I use it as an anti-stress ball, so it's always lying around. Anti-stress ball? This duck was the first audience for so many papers I wrote. Time for Marie to get back to her proper job. I ran into another anomaly. This one was different. It was like this distortion was closing in on me, as if I was pulling it toward me. How extraordinary. Maybe its magnetic field is interacting with your suit. Yeah, well, running away from it was no fun. Keeping clear of it is the only thing you can do for now. Let's keep collecting observations. I feel we're onto something groundbreaking here. I made a curious discovery. Another distortion? I don't know. It was different this time. It didn't look dangerous, no radiation. Actually, it didn't do anything. But it caught your attention. It's like nothing I've seen before. It must have something in common with the other distortions. Question is, are they the cause or the reason of so much rupidium here? I'd like to study them more. So would I. And for that, we'll have to design our own tools. Do you have anything specific in mind? Let me think about it. I need to look through Professor Frankoff's lectures, as well as notes from other expeditions. We had a theory. I just need to find a way to put it into practice. Given the circumstances, we're doing quite well. Hey, everything okay on your side? Actually, I was going to approach you. Do you think... Is there any way I can go back to my life, I mean? Why don't we start with getting back to Earth?
Then what? Going back to nothing doesn't motivate me.
What was so special about your life?
What was special? Huh. How about my non-existent home?
Imagine there was a way, and you could go back. What would be the first thing you'd do?
That's a no-brainer. I'd check up on Lena. I'm worried to death about her.
Relax. Lena's no damsel in distress.
Yeah. She'd hate being that.
See?
Shit. I miss her. Don't you?
Of course I do.
Suddenly, everything's gone. Just like that. It's brutal. I'll need more time to even start hoping to come to terms with it.
Sure. Take your time. But remember, you're needed here.
Yeah. I'll do my best to find some sense in it. rid of you.
Jan, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet. I'm done here. Should I do this now?
So, what do you got for me?
An invention I'm particularly proud of. The Illuminator.
You mean a flashlight?
You have a talent for making extraordinary things sound mundane. It's not just a flashlight, Jan. Tell me, when you encounter these distortions, what is your priority?
I'd like to investigate them more.
Now you'll be able to do it.
Okay. How?
Professor Frankov discovered that certain frequencies of light waves can be used to peer into proximity planes, to study them. I've used his observations to create my illuminator so it can reveal elements of the integral hidden to the human eye. But it also has another, more pragmatic application. It can help to eliminate distortions.
You mean destroy them for good?
I'm just giving you a tool. You decide how to use it. You see, distortions are created around puncture points between potential universes. That much we know. Now, with the Illuminator, they should become much more visible to you. Focusing the Illuminator's light waves exactly on the puncture point will allow you to seal that rift. You could compare it to cauterizing a wound.
Damn. That does sound promising.
Indeed. Now you see why I don't like calling it a flashlight.
Hi there.